How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about Jack Grealish because he has been called up to the England squad. We're also going to be talking about Spurs and Rangers because they now know who they will face in the Europa League qualifying rounds. And the last piece of news involves Arsenal because they have terminated the contract by mutual consent with Henrik Mkhitaryan.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So before we get started in today's show, I want you lot to go and click the link in the description. The latest game from DTFC is on the DTFC YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed, make sure you hit that button. And make sure you go and watch the video because it's another lesson in football. I'm getting quite good at this managerial stuff, aren't I? Get yourself over, watch the video, make sure you subscribe. Now, today's show, we're going to be talking about Jack Grealish because he's been called up to the England squad. And first things first, he should have been called up about a week ago. He shouldn't be getting called up because of injuries. Now, Marcus Rashford has had to pull out. And also Harry Winks. Now, Jack Grealish should be in the England squad ahead of Harry Winks anyway. So, I'm looking at it and thinking this is a good thing. That this is beneficial to England because I think that Jack Grealish in the side will offer a lot more to the country than Harry Winks. I still don't actually understand how Harry Winks is a top level footballer. And I'm not saying this because he plays for Spurs. I'm saying it because I think he's shit. And it's as simple as that. And how he's a full international, I have absolutely no idea. So he's out and Jack Grealish is in. And it's going to be his first call up. I hope that he gets some game time. I really do. I hope this is not just calling him into the squad, shut a few people up, and he makes up the numbers and he doesn't even get on the pitch. Because in terms of creativity, it's going to be one of England's main men. I think statistically in the England squad, he will have more chances created than anybody in that midfield area. So I'm looking at him thinking, you know what? He deserves to be playing. Maybe not starting, but he deserves to get some minutes. He deserves to come on the pitch and show what he can actually do. Also be interesting to see whether Maitland-Niles gets any minutes in the game because he's another that's been called into the squad. Deservedly so with his recent performances, and it wasn't just the one against Liverpool in the Community Shield. It was his performance against Chelsea in the Cup final, his performance against Manchester City in the semi-final. And what was key about those three games was that he played out on the left. And the left-hand side is clearly where England have a problem. We don't even have a recognised left-back in the squad because of injuries. And for some reason, Gareth Southgate didn't want to call Saka into the squad. A lad that's not predominantly a left back, but spent the majority of last season at left back and excelled. So when your squad don't actually have a left back, you don't bring someone who can play left back in. Yeah. And you wonder why people are questioning Gareth Southgate and whether he's actually a good manager or not. And people will look at the last tournament we were in and say, well, we got to a semi-final. Let's have a look at the games that got us to a semi-final. Let's be honest about it. It wasn't difficult, was it? The moment we faced a team of any note, we got beat. We should have been in the final. Football should have been coming home. Although, yeah, maybe not because we would have played France in the final and Pepe and that would have absolutely tore us a new one. But you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, Jack Grealish is in the England team. Fair play to him. I hope that he grabs the opportunity with both hands. I hope that he can go back to Aston Villa this season, still in the Premier League, knuckle down, keep working hard, keep producing good performances, except for when he plays against Arsenal. And try and establish himself and cement a place in that England squad because I think that he definitely is a player that could, be beneficial to England and, create things. And we don't have loads of creativity in terms of players. And if you're going to ask anyone, if you want Grealish, Harry Winks, I think the majority would say Jack Grealish. Let's be real about it. So, yeah, well done to Jack Grealish. He gets his first England call-up. Now, next piece of news involves Spurs and Rangers. And they found out yesterday who they are playing in the Europa League preliminary rounds. Now, of course, Spurs were qualified into the group stages of the Europa League, but then they had to get knocked down to the preliminary rounds and qualify once Arsenal won the FA Cup. Sorry, boys. Now, why they are lucky in some sense is that because of everything going on at the moment with COVID, it's a bit difficult in these times in the early stages of a season to go and play two-legged ties. So UEFA are playing one-legged ties. Now, I don't actually know where the game is actually going to take place, but I'm presuming it's going to be a neutral venue in another country, a bit like what was happening towards the end of last season with the tournaments and everything else. And they are playing... How on earth am I going to pronounce this, man? You think that I'll probably be used to this by now, given the fact that Arsenal have been in the Europa League for so long and everything else. But, here we go. Spurs are playing a Bulgarian side, and please, if any of their fans are watching this by any slim chance, don't have a go at me if I butcher your name. It's Plovdiv. I think it's pronounced that way. Alright, now they finished second in the Bulgarian top flight behind Ludogorets. Now, you might look at that and say, Ludogorets sounds a lot more difficult to pronounce than Plovdiv. But Arsenal played Ludogorets, so I actually know how to pronounce it. Now, again, like I said, I hope I haven't butchered the name and it's not maybe Plovdiv or something like that. I'm just looking at it as it's written. Plovdiv. Sorry. Now, oh my God, some of these names. Now, the reason why they're in these rounds is because they went through a preliminary round before this one. And they disposed of a team called Iskra Danilovgrad. I have absolutely no idea. Seriously. They're a team from Montenegrin. I have never heard of them in my life. Ever. Rangers get an easier tie actually, and they're playing a team from Gibraltar. And they're called Lincoln. How easy is that? There's no problems there. But yeah, look, if Tottenham get past this stage, then they could end up having a fixture pile-up in September. And they could end up playing 9 games in 24 days. Because everything's squeezed in at the moment and everything else, and the knock-on effect of coronavirus. European qualifying ties have been reduced to one-legged fixtures, like I was saying. However, should Spurs progress through the final 2 rounds of the Europa League qualifying, they will face the prospect of 2 games across the same midweek, 2 weeks in a row. Ooh. So that means they might have to end up playing like a Tuesday, a Thursday, Premier League game at the weekend, and then another Tuesday and a Thursday and then another Premier League game. Woo-hoo-hoo! And you lot were celebrating on that final game of the season thinking that you had already qualified for the group stages. Sorry about that, boys. You must have thought Chelsea were going to beat us. Unlucky. But yeah, Spurs know who they're playing. I suppose depends who you speak to. The club will want to progress in the Europa League because of money. They're losing ridiculous amounts. They're in so much debt because of the new stadium and everything else. And they're losing out on revenue and everything. But some of the fans, they'll probably say, you know what, it might be best for us if we're not in Europe and they can concentrate on the league and trying to get into the top 4. As far as I'm concerned, Tottenham ain't getting near the top 4 this season. You can quote me on it. Sorry, but it is what it is. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see whether they qualify. We'll see whether they get into the group stages. Same as Arsenal. Last piece of news involves Arsenal. And they have terminated the contract by mutual consent with Henrik Mkhitaryan. And he has joined Roma on a permanent deal. Now, of course, he was there on loan. And some people are saying, okay, he's gone. But why did we terminate the contract? Why did we just get rid of him? Well, look, he had a year left, first and foremost. Roma were not going to pay the money. And Arsenal were then going to be stuck with a player they don't want on 180 grand a week. 180 grand a week. Wow. And you wonder where our problems were, because we were paying people like this that kind of money. 180 grand. The most memorable thing he's done at Arsenal is announce Aubameyang. Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here? Yeah. They should have probably actually got their money's worth, and before he left, got Mkhitaryan to announce Aubameyang's contract extension. Yo, Pierre, do you want to sign another one? And then he walks out the exit door. Perfect video that would have been. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Arsenal media team, contact me. I'll sort your videos out, because you're taking bloody ages doing them anyway. So, yeah, Henrik Mkhitaryan's gone. And like I said, that's 180 grand a week off the wage bill. That's over £2 million a year. Over £2 million in wages gone free. We can put it on something else. Like Aubameyang, like a Partey. Who knows? So, interesting. But yeah, Henrik Mkhitaryan has gone. Finally. Thank God for that. So, there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.